Hi, I'm Jamie, and for the last 6 weeks, I've had the pleasure of working together with Rolls-Royce motor cars. In case you missed it, Rolls-Royce are one of the world's most iconic luxury brands, and their aim is to deliver an experience for the customer that is unsurpassed in its excellence. And so my project has been focused on providing that customer experience. To achieve that, we've been asking the question of how can machine learning help to maximize service performance? So we've had 3 key objectives in mind here. Firstly, to increase customer retention levels, by which I mean we want to ensure customers keep returning to official Rolls-Royce service centers on a regular basis. We also want to increase profitability at those service centers. And lastly, to increase customer satisfaction levels. So please remember these 3 key objectives as we move further into the talk. Now, service retention at Rolls-Royce looks like this, and it looks broadly similar throughout the entire automotive industry. Rolls-Royce offer a complimentary annual service throughout their warranty period, but as soon as the warranty expires, retention levels unfortunately decline, and they ultimately never recover. But buried within the data are several key customer demographics. Some customers service less than average, whereas other customers service more than average. And what we want to do is to take customers on the red line and convert them to be on the blue line. To do this, I've developed a data science pipeline that combines over 400 features with information on the customers themselves, the cars they own, and even the entire service history of their vehicles, and combine them together using a method known as gradient-boosted trees to provide quarterly insights that can be provided to the dealers, highlighting the customers that they should target in the upcoming quarter to come in for service. These models no longer need to be a black box. And so I've been able to dissect the model using principles from game theory to highlight which are the key features that keep customers coming back for services. Some of these features are highly intuitive. For example, the time since the last service is the most important feature of all by a long way. But some features are less intuitive. For example, customers that own a white car are actually more likely than average to keep coming for regular services. So if you own a white car, you might be a bit of a perfectionist, possibly. Now, this is the Rolls-Royce Carpark, by which I mean all of those cars that are accessible to a dealer to service in the upcoming quarter. So Rolls-Royce already make a prediction. They predict that these customers will come in for service next quarter, but only about 40% of them actually do, and the rest are unfortunately never seen at the dealership. So 40% is already a pretty good prediction, and that's our benchmark that we would like to try and beat. So I applied a machine learning algorithm, and I now predict these cars will come in for service. So I can predict with about 80% accuracy which customers will come in. So now we have an algorithm that's truly predictive. Unfortunately, at this stage, I realized I had to turn the entire project on its head, as Rolls-Royce aren't really interested in predicting who will come for service, as they're going to come for service anyway, but rather in predicting who won't come for service. So to do this, we took the project to the next level, and I started to perform customer segmentation to separate customers into key target groups, those that service regularly, those at risk of lapsing, and those that are already lapsed, so that we can identify to the dealers those customers with the highest probabilities, if they were to be contacted, of converting to regular services again. So now the data look like this. These green customers are regular services. We don't need to worry about them this quarter. They're going to come for a service. But now we can see these customers that are at risk of lapsing, so the dealer can reach out to them, and then they can seal the deal and persuade them to keep coming back on a regular basis. More importantly, we can also see these customers that have lapsed, and our algorithm predicts that they have a high probability of servicing if they were to be contacted, which slowly on a quarterly basis will improve the amount of customers that are retained at Rolls-Royce. And the algorithm is now being implemented and tested at major Rolls-Royce dealerships in both the UK and the Middle East. To summarize, if we can take all of those customers that the algorithm predicts and persuade them to come in for service in the next quarter, we would improve retention levels by 5%. Similarly, if we can take just a conservative 25% of those customers and get them to come for service, we would increase profitability at service centres by 3%. And by providing individual targeted actions to specific customers to meet their needs, we can take customer satisfaction levels to new highs, allowing Rolls-Royce and their service infrastructure to drive confidently into the future. Thank you very much.